Kia ora from Aotearoa. Poppy Joy here. Hope you're doing really well, cruising through these times with so much change and so much potential for the wonders of life to really open up as we open up to that. Yeah, I'm just outside and it's now, it's right now. It feels so wonderful just being in now. I'm really grateful. I'm very grateful for my journey. I'm very grateful for so many years, like meditating into the Mayan energies really gave me a meditation practice of really exploring and feeling into myself and feeling what is. And I think so much of what I shared was actually more about what is and what was going on, but it fell back into the reference onto that day. But now I'm actually feeling even more liberated inside while I ask my questions. Well, my cat's just jumped up onto the fence next to me. I'm just out by a horse paddock. She's gorgeous. But yeah, I'm just like coming more into absolutely direct now. The source that, source in me, in the breath, when I'm breathing and I'm feeling everything through my body. I come to know myself, I come to know, and this is what we all have, is this amazing breath of life, which was given by Source to us, into this organic and natural body. And when we can especially breathe, we're away from the rat race, we're away from too much structure, more in nature, just more connected, then I feel we become much more connected to ourselves, and we start to know ourselves and just find that source of life, that thing that really, that beautiful presence that reassures us that even though we look out into a world, especially if we look onto what's put onto social media and what's put into the news and the common stories that are being told, which are basically expressing the common fears that are kind of held in humanity. And it's only through the beautiful presence of Source that those fears will dissipate from me, that I won't be afraid for the AI taking me over. And it will probably take over a lot of people, and that may be their choice, and that's their soul journey. I have actually seen visions of it. It was incredibly sad, but it was incredibly beautiful at the same time. It was almost like people turning into greys again, these extraterrestrials, which they don't have any compassion or empathy, and that's why they can do all of this sort of experimentation and put human beings and babies and animals into all sorts of fear. And I don't want to fear that anymore either. Like, that's been my past. It's been absolutely horrific. I don't consent to it being that way anymore. I've chosen to be direct with this beautiful Source. And when I say that, Source is the Creator God. It's just that I've had in my life, I had horrific religious abuse, where I believe that scriptures were used at me and everything was inverted to make me look like I was the evil one. And I honestly believed I was evil so often. And that belief has stopped me from coming out when a part is sort of taken precedence. And I've really, I had a major journey therapy session not long ago, and I I saw where that was made. And I saw that how, like, I was just a little wee toddler. First of all, you're told you're really special, and then the ritual is just, it's one of the terrible satanic ones that they do, where they basically want you to believe you're evil. They want to break your heart so that you can also be used for their purposes. Now, that's one thing that I see in so many amazing survivors, is that they couldn't be broken. There was still love. They refused, even with everything and all the terrible choices that we were put into, and these terrible scenarios which were not really part of our will. We've transcended it. We've risen above it. And I think the only way that it can happen is by knowing who we are and why we're here. And I sometimes forget who I am and why I'm here. And every now and then, sorry, I feel like I'm going to cry. Every now and then, I am going to cry. That's okay. But every now and then someone will come along and they will remind me who you are. That we're caught in something which is kind of like a strategic game. And are we going to choose love? Are we going to choose compassion? Are we going to choose wisdom? Or are we going to be sucked into something where we just, what's most precious to us could be taken? And I just want to encourage everybody, because every single one of us is here trying to find our way. We're doing it through different belief systems. And, that belief system, I've seen so many people find their strength and find their beauty and find their way through that. And even though I might not agree with, or it's not mine because I have a different set of perceptions from what's happened to me, I just will absolutely rejoice that they make it through, that people make it through. And so when we do find something that's absolutely working for us, go for it. Be with it. Absolutely be with it and go with it. It's helping. And I call it praying, but it's intention, it's whatever. But I constantly am asking this beautiful source, show me who I am, show me what I need to know, show me, show me. And I think we can, and source is very, very faithful to our desire. And I know that, I think when things, that word desire is even interesting. So sometimes when things just become too much of a desire, they can attract an energy until that sting is taken out, and then we bring it back into balance somehow within us, and then things unfold more freely. But I have been very, very, very prone to perfectionism in this life. There was a lot that was asked from me. There was a whole lot that went into programming, that if you failed, the consequences were so huge. So I'm having compassion on my little girl here while I talk. This little one who was thrown into perfectionism, like knowing that I don't have to be perfect anymore. She doesn't have to be perfect anymore. But I'm on this journey of liberation, and it's okay. It's been okay for me to overreact. It's been okay for me to learn. And I will. And I've had a beautiful conversation with someone I care about this week, whose beliefs I could have hurt. And, I really don't want to do that, and I don't intend to do that. But I think we can be compassionate. We can be authentic. We're here, we're learning and growing. And, I've been in a lot of isolation for quite a few years because of my health. I haven't been able to go out and do things, and I haven't really had near enough support in some ways, but then in other ways it's really increased my strength and my connection with the source of life and the breath of life. And I spend so much time meditating because my body has had limits, and some of those limits are releasing, especially the more that I remember where they came from. Like at the moment, I'm feeling the effects of what happened with strangulation and rising out of that. So all our pain, all our suffering, all our misery can be turned around, and it is, because this inversion, it turns around within us, that we can turn everything that was so fearful, that was torture, that was pain, into suffering, back into the fullness of love, compassion and care. Yeah, so I just wanted to say that it was just really lovely. I just had a message today on one of my videos which actually just really inspired me to say something and to carry on, because it is about love, and the more that we share this love, and we can share our wisdom and what really gets us through the toughest of times, it inspires, it really inspires, and it empowers us. And that really matters to me. And there's so many people that I haven't even met, but you matter to me, I see everybody as 100% equally valuable souls here. We're all going through this time, and the more that we love, the less that we fear. So much love to you.